You know you've made it when you don't need to state your last name, like Dame Edna and Kylie. And so it is for Hamish and Andy. But when they made their first appearance as a gangly comedy duo 15 years ago, no one could or would have predicted their longevity or success. Their secret seems to be rather simple. If they're having fun, then so too will their fans. Hamish and Andy are best mates who've literally made it their business to have a fantastic time.
Good afternoon, everyone!
Hamish and Andy have never done things by halves.
This is what we need.
And today is no different.
More importantly, keep your hands up.
They're planning on broadcasting their radio show, Crowd Surfing.
2, 1.
They're relying on their fans to carry them aloft for a whole 2 hours. It is the ultimate leap of faith.
You're incredible! You're incredible! No, come aboard, Jack. Okay. That's a Titanic reference. It also means you drown. And he's gone. He's in
The pair have been surfing this wave of popularity for 15 long years.
Come aboard, Amber. Warning. I'm in.
Career-ending interview with Liz Hayes.
But always knowing that at any time they could be dumped.
Thanks for having us.
You're wondering when people might be over you. Does that linger in the back of your head?
Oh, only in the sense that once they are, someone will tap us on the shoulder and go, "Okay, guys, you've had enough."
Yeah.
And I think at that stage we'll go, "Yes, we suspected this
get
was
our
coming."
So somebody will have to tap you on that?
Yes,
I'll be hiding.
Guys, you keep
Just take him.
I'll just find Andy. Andy, quick, lock the door. Where are the keys?
And wow, will you look at how tiny those bikes are?
It's been an amazing ride.
Don't blame!
Andy Lee, 36, and Hamish Blake, 35, have built their media careers off the back of one gigantic adventure. Two mates just having fun.
Taking my order. This is TGI and monkeys. Oh. My brain doesn't even know what to do because this is...
So how do you describe your relationship?
It's changed. It changes.
From what to what?
Oh my God, I'm just finding it now.
Well, I mean, you're kind of bright-eyed and we're still best friends, but it changes when you realise there's a lot of other people relying on a friendship. And also, I mean, I reckon it becomes more of a marriage. You
It does.
have all the honeymoon period when you're first getting together and you're learning lots about each other.
I'd say there's elements of it that, you know, some mates would never go through. Like, I think we have bonds that are deeper than you would ever maybe get with just a normal friendship, because we've kind of done this weird thing where we our friendship kind of somehow became our job, which is an odd thing to go through. I think we make people ring up and say, "I want some of that sweet, sweet bag," or whatever.
They may not wear suits and ties, but theirs is a very grown-up, multi-million-dollar business.
I think you can lucky dip it, and the choice is, do you want to lucky dip it?
And every day, there's a lot of serious brainstorming with their team to keep the laughs coming. Yes, you're in a business together, so...
Which is odd. But you have to invent rules. And I suppose one of the big ones there is we just have to be friends first. The whole point of this is fun. So if this stops being fun, or if this is clinical, and if this is a facade and not really working, then nothing's worth it. Like that's just not worth it.
Just because they're animals.
Before all of this started, what did you truly think you would do with yourselves in life?
I did think I was going to be an accountant until the end of year 12.
I was studying computer science, and I thought I was going to be I thought I was going to make robots in artificial intelligence. But then I got to uni and discovered other children were far smarter than me. And this was our private residence grounds. You're the first person we've ever bought in here.
I love your courtyard.
We still tend to the grounds on a daily basis.
Thanks to a mutual friend, the computer geek and the aspiring accountant first met at Melbourne University in 2001.
I love the bit where you said we could go to the pub soon.
In what was then known as the Commerce Courtyard. In all seriousness, what was it that connected you two? I mean, it sounds like a set-up date.
Laughter. It has to be.
I think we just were mucking around, and maybe more so me because it was my first couple of days on campus.
And you were really poor, so
I was very poor.
maybe a chance for someone to buy him some beers.
And when Andy was laughing, I could hear the jangling of loose change.
The boys clicked,
Hey, Ando.
and over countless games of pool and unlimited beers, they forged a friendship that would see them swap their uni careers for comedy.
How many ideas would come across a snooker table?
Plenty, actually.
Some things that have gone on to, work or become much bigger things have just started with the phrase, do you think it would be funny if, et cetera, et cetera.
How often do you get a really bad idea?
All the time. Oh, yeah. And I mean, we don't specifically say it to each other, but usually
It's this.
just, could work.
Do you want another beer? The other I find that we look for things that are fun rather than funny.
With their schoolboy looks, they started out on radio, then performed on stage and later television. The audience loving their brand of humour.
We sing in choir all the time. They don't even know about it. And it's wicked.
Much of it based on their own experiences. You were in a choir, weren't
I was in a choir. I was one of Australia's premier choristers. We should actually probably do a separate story on that.
And listen, by the way, you were in the Scouts.
I was a scout. I was a bit of
Show us your top 10 knots, mate.
I was a bit of a goody two-shoes.
I was never in the Scouts. Tell
Well,
me.
yes, DIB. They'd say DOB, which is do our best. It's an acronym.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
No, it would have been great for us to meet earlier when we were 11 years old in the Scouts and in a choir and been some
The
cool
coolest
dudes.
guys.
Just I'd be able to sing in a very high voice about how Andy's making a fire from almost nothing.
Hamish and Andy grew up in Melbourne, both the products of strong families. For Hamish, his grandfather Donald Collins was a key influence in his life.
He was an awesome man. There's a lot of stories I could tell you about Pop, but he essentially came from a real background of just back yourself. Like his dad kind of mortgaged the farm and backed himself in a running race and won and bought the farm next door. And Pop was a bit of an athlete. Like on a sentimental side, for me, he always encapsulated like the perfect blend of fun and grit. Like he was a gritty guy.
Andy is part of a tightly knit clan. With his sister Alex, older brother Cam, and their parents Michael and Margaret, Andy ensures they get together most weekends.
Give me a little bit of a snapshot of your brother. Type of brother?
Straight out of the blocks, Liz.
Pretend he's not here.
But remember,
He's a caring, giving, enthusiastic lover of life. I mean, he's a bit of a bogan at heart. He loves a beer at the pub. He'll have a Palmer over a posh meal.
But Alex, I read something that you wrote. Andy's lucky to be alive, really, ultimately, as an adult, because he has like 13 stitches in his bump.
Yeah, and the other stitches are all over the place. I think
And the rest of it, yeah.
Mum's always said that, we're excited that he made it to adulthood because he just had, I think, no fear growing up and was very adventurous and, would be on roofs or up trees or...
Well, we nearly lost him at, when he was 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
happened?
He had epiglottitis, and so...
And I did all the wrong things. I tried to lie him down and took him to the doctor, and he said take him straight into the Royal Children's.
But when we got there, they took him away straight away and had tubes down his throat, and so he was in intensive care for a week, wasn't he? Yeah.
Wow.
But they did say another hour and we would have lost him. So that
Makes him kind of special, really.
it does.
doesn't it?
And it's honestly the first time I've ever seen Mike cry on the way home from the hospital. He said it was close. We nearly lost him.
Was?
Coming up, behind the scenes with Mrs. Hamish and Andy.
As soon as we started talking, I thought, he's funny.
Cleo Bachelor of the Year. I thought he was a bit of a sleaze bag, maybe.
Their exciting new TV project.
The doctor has turned around and said,
Oh my God, is he dead?
And Little Sonny steals the show. That's next on 60 Minutes.